Welcome, listeners. A Conversation, the podcast where we dive into the minds of visionaries, dreamers and creators, past and present, to explore the extraordinary interplay of ideas, innovation and humanity's potential. I'm your host TNG, and today's episode is truly special. What if you could have a conversation with one of history's most brilliant speculative minds, a man whose works not only shaped modern science fiction, but also seemed to predict the course of technological progress? Today we bring you an imagined yet deeply researched simulated dialogue with the legendary Jules Verne. Known as the father of science fiction, Jules Verne's Voyages Extraordinaires series, including classics like 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea and From the Earth to the Moon, envisioned submarines, space travel, and technologies that were pure fantasy in his time, but are now part of everyday reality. But Verne's stories weren't just about gadgets and adventures. They explored the boundaries of imagination, the ethical dimensions of progress, and humanity's unrelenting desire to explore and transcend limits. In today's episode, we delve into an imagined conversation with Verne, informed by his writings, letters, and historical context. We discuss the power of stories, the blurring lines between reality and fiction, and the astonishing advancements of the modern world. But it's not all celebration. Verne also offers cautionary wisdom about the ethical challenges of innovation. So buckle up and let your imagination soar as we journey into the mind of Jules Verne, a man who dreamed of the impossible and inspired the world to make it real. Stay tuned because the adventure begins right now. Born February 8th, 1828 in Nantes, France, Verne grew up in a seafaring town which greatly influenced his imagination and love for exploration and adventure. He was the eldest of 5 children in a middle-class family. His father, Pierre Verne, was a lawyer, and his mother, Sophie Alotte de la Fouille, came from a family of navigators and ship owners. As a child, Verne reportedly attempted to run away to join a ship as a cabin boy, but his father intervened. This incident became a legendary anecdote about his adventurous spirit. Verne attended boarding school and later moved to Paris to study law, following his father's wishes. While studying law in Paris, Verne became deeply interested in literature and theatre. He befriended literary figures such as Alexandre Dumas. In 1850, he wrote his first play, Les Pailles Rompues, The Broken Straws, which was staged in Paris. He briefly worked as a stockbroker, but found the job unfulfilling. Verne began writing short stories, plays and librettos, but struggled to gain significant recognition. In 1857, Verne married Honorine de Vienne, a widow with 2 children. Around this time, Verne developed a deep fascination with science and geography, fueled by his friendship with geographer Jacques Arago. He also became an avid reader of scientific journals and began incorporating scientific ideas into his writing. In 1862, Verne met publisher Pierre-Jules Hetzel, who became a crucial mentor and collaborator. Hetzel encouraged Verne to develop his scientific adventure stories into full-length novels, leading to the creation of Voyages Extraordinaires, Extraordinary Voyages. 5 Weeks in a Balloon, 1863, was Verne's first major success. It introduced readers to his unique blend of adventure, exploration, and scientific imagination. Over the next 2 decades, Verne published numerous classics, including Journey to the Centre of the Earth, 1864, From the Earth to the Moon, 1865, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, 1870, Around the World in 80 Days, 1873. His works captivated readers worldwide, combining thrilling adventures with detailed scientific descriptions and visionary ideas. Verne's novels often reflected the rapid advancements of the Industrial Revolution, and he became one of the first authors to popularise science fiction as a genre. Verne's later years were marked by personal and professional challenges. His relationship with his son, Michel, was strained. Michel had a rebellious nature and frequently clashed with his father. In 1886, Verne was shot in the leg by his mentally ill nephew, Gaston, leaving him partially disabled. Despite these difficulties, Verne continued to write prolifically, producing over 60 novels and stories in the Voyages Extraordinaire series. His later works, such as The Master of the World, 1904, took on a darker tone, reflecting his disillusionment with humanity's misuse of technology. Verne died on March 24, 1905, in Amiens, France, at the age of 77. He was buried in the Cimetière de la Madeleine in Amiens. Verne's works have been translated into over 150 languages, making him one of the most translated authors in history. Monsieur Verne, it's an honour to speak with you. Your works have inspired generations. Many of your ideas like submarines, space travel and video conferencing have become a reality. How do you feel knowing your imagination foreshadowed these incredible advancements?
TNG, my dear friend. I am both astonished and gratified. When I penned my Voyages Extraordinaires, my aim was to instill in readers a sense of wonder about the world and its possibilities. I never imagined so many of my speculations would come to fruition within a century or two. It speaks to humanity's boundless ingenuity, does it not?
It certainly does. But where did these ideas come from? Did you have an extraordinary ability to foresee the future?
No, not at all. I was no prophet, merely a keen observer of the present. I devoured the works of great scientists like Darwin, Humboldt, and Arago, and I kept up with the latest developments in engineering and technology. My Nautilus, for instance, was inspired by early submarine designs, such as Robert Fulton's Nautilus and the diving bell of my time. The rest was imagination. I asked myself, what if these rudimentary machines were perfected? What wonders could they achieve? From there I wove stories around these concepts, allowing my characters and my readers to explore their implications.
That makes sense. But your stories often go beyond mere technological prediction. They also explore the social and moral implications of innovation. Was that intentional?
Absolutely. Science and technology are neutral forces, tools that can shape the future for good or ill. Captain Nemo, for example, is a man of great intelligence and vision, but his bitterness turns the Nautilus into an instrument of vengeance. I wanted to remind readers that with great power comes great responsibility. These inventions were not meant to be merely wondrous. They were meant to provoke thought. How will humanity use such advancements? That question haunted me.
Given the way the world has developed, do you think humanity has used its advancements wisely?
It is difficult to say. I dreamed of submarines exploring the ocean's mysteries, not waging war. I envisioned space travel as a testament to human courage and intellect, not a race for dominance. Yet I also see light amidst the shadows. The Internet, though far beyond anything I conceived, brings people together in ways I could only dream of. And renewable energy. I would have written an entire novel about the potential of solar power. These are signs that humanity can use its tools wisely when guided by reason and compassion.
If you were alive today, what would you write about?
I would be a wide-eyed traveler in this astonishing age. Perhaps I would write about journeys to the stars or the ethics of artificial intelligence. I would ask, as I always have, what lies beyond the horizon of our knowledge. But I would also warn against forgetting the earth beneath our feet. Humanity's inventions must serve life, not enslave it. If we dream of other worlds, let it be to enrich our own.
That's a beautiful sentiment, Monsieur Verne. Do you have any advice for today's dreamers and inventors?
Of course, cherish curiosity, for it is the spark of all discovery. Respect the wisdom of the past, but do not be bound by it. And remember, the greatest adventures begin not with certainty, but with the courage to ask, what if? Use your knowledge to uplift humanity, to explore, and to inspire. That is the legacy I hoped to leave, and I trust it will guide generations to come.
Monsieur Verne, there's something curious I'd like your thoughts on. Many people today claim that the American moon landings were a hoax, staged for political or other reasons. Strangely, their alleged narrative mirrors elements of your own writings, particularly From the Earth to the Moon. What are your thoughts on this idea?
A hoax, you say? How intriguing. It amuses me that such a grand and bold endeavor might be doubted, though I understand skepticism's place in the human mind. The parallels with my novel are indeed fascinating, especially as my story was itself a flight of fancy. But let us not be so quick to dismiss the moon landings as mere fiction. It seems to me that humanity has achieved wonders far surpassing my imaginings. To call such feats into question without substantial evidence may reveal more about the doubter's fears and mistrust than about the events themselves.
That's a fair perspective, but some claim that if the landings were staged, it was for political reasons, to outpace rivals during the Cold War. In your novel, space travel is also driven by rivalry and national pride. Does this resemblance strike you?
Ah, the eternal dance of nations. Indeed, in From the Earth to the Moon, the Baltimore Gun Club's project to reach the moon stems from a desire for glory and dominance after the Civil War. Rivalry and pride can ignite great undertakings, but they are dangerous sparks. They may drive progress, but they can also cloud our motives. If the moon landings were truly staged to assert dominance, I would find that tragic, a diminishment of humanity's great potential. Yet even if born of competition, the actual achievement of reaching the moon, as I understand it, represents something far greater, a shared triumph of curiosity, ingenuity, and the human spirit.
But if the landings were staged, don't you find it fascinating that they might have drawn directly from your work?
Indeed, the very thought tickles my imagination. To think that my fictional narrative might have influenced such a ruse is as delightful as it is ironic. In my tale I strove to ground the fantastical in plausible science, and if my work inspired a hoax, it suggests that people find truth within my fiction. However, I must stress that the idea of faking such an achievement strikes me as short-sighted. A staged endeavor might inspire momentary awe, but it would fail to spark the deeper curiosity and innovation that true exploration fosters.
How do you think humanity should approach skepticism, particularly in an age where truth and fiction often blur?
Skepticism is not the enemy of progress, rather it is its necessary companion. To question is to seek understanding, but to deny without evidence is to close one's mind to possibility. If skepticism about the moon landings arises, I would encourage open inquiry. Let doubters examine the evidence, and let believers invite scrutiny. In my time, science was a beacon, a light to guide us toward truth. I hope this spirit persists today.
Do you think stories like yours might help bridge the gap between skepticism and belief?
Stories are powerful tools. They stir the imagination, challenge the intellect, and ignite the heart. If my works remind people of humanity's potential to dream and achieve, then they serve their purpose well. Perhaps my moon journey resonates because it captures a truth deeper than politics or hoaxes, the longing to transcend our limitations. Whether the landings were real or not, the idea of stepping onto another world is a testament to that longing. If my stories can inspire both skeptics and believers to look upward and onward, then I would consider my efforts worthwhile.
Monsieur Verne, this leads us to an intriguing topic. Humans clearly thrive on stories and narratives. Your own works are a testament to that. But where do the boundaries between real and imaginary exist? Why do people so often believe narratives even without evidence or references?
Ah, my dear friend, this is a question as vast as the oceans I once sent Captain Nemo to explore. Humans are creatures of imagination and curiosity, yes, but also of meaning. Stories are the vessels through which we make sense of the world. The boundaries between real and imaginary are not fixed. They shift like the tides. Consider this. When I wrote From the Earth to the Moon, it was pure fiction, yet it drew on real science. And now, after humanity has reached the moon, my fiction is seen almost as a precursor to reality. Was it ever truly imaginary or merely unrealized? The line blurs.
That's a fascinating perspective, but why do people so easily believe narratives, even when there's no evidence to support them?
The answer lies in the power of stories to appeal to the heart, not merely the mind. Logic demands proof, but a compelling narrative can bypass doubt and strike directly at one's desires, fears, and hopes. Humans are emotional beings, and stories offer a structure that satisfies their longing for understanding. Even the most outlandish tale, if told with conviction and detail, can resonate because it provides a sense of order to a chaotic world. People believe not because they are foolish, but because stories fulfill a profound psychological need.
So in a way, stories are more about meaning than truth.
Precisely. Truth, while vital, can be cold and indifferent. Stories wrap truth, or falsehood, alas, in meaning and purpose. They make the incomprehensible comprehensible. Consider the myths of ancient civilizations. Were they scientifically accurate? Of course not. Yet they conveyed profound truths about human nature, morality, and the cosmos. Even in modern times, people gravitate to narratives that echo their inner beliefs or address their fears. A good story offers something more than facts. It offers why and what for. That is its allure and its danger.
Danger? How so?
Because stories can be wielded as tools or as weapons. A noble tale may inspire nations to strive for greatness, as my works have encouraged exploration and invention. But a false narrative told persuasively can lead people astray. The danger lies in our readiness to believe what aligns with our desires or biases. A narrative can overshadow evidence when it feels more real than reality itself. To prevent this, we must cultivate discernment, a balance of heart and mind.
How can we as a society encourage this balance and protect ourselves from being too easily swayed by compelling but false narratives?
Education, above all. Teach people to question and to seek the roots of the stories they hear. Science, history, and literature are not merely fields of study. They are tools to sharpen the intellect and the imagination alike. Second, foster curiosity. A curious mind is less likely to accept simple answers or deceptive tales. Encourage the pursuit of knowledge, even when the truth is uncomfortable or complex. Lastly, embrace the art of storytelling responsibly. Writers, journalists, and leaders carry great power in their words. They must remember that their stories shape how people perceive reality. Let them wield this power with integrity.
So for you, stories are not just entertainment. They're a profound responsibility.
Indeed, Stories are the maps by which humanity navigates its inner and outer worlds. As a writer, I have always sought to inspire curiosity, to broaden horizons, and to remind readers of their shared humanity. But I am humbled by the realization that stories, for all their power, must never overshadow the truth. Let us cherish narratives, but let us also challenge them. For only by walking the fine line between real and imaginary can we continue our greatest journey, the pursuit of understanding.
Your thoughts are as enlightening as your stories, and your optimism for humanity's potential is as inspiring as ever. Monsieur Verne, your insights into stories and their power are remarkable. I'd like to return to technology for a moment. Given the incredible advancements of the modern world, artificial intelligence, the internet, genetic engineering, what are your thoughts? Do these developments surprise you, or did you foresee them in some way?
Surprised? Perhaps, but not entirely. The trajectory of human ingenuity has always been upward, striving toward the stars, the depths, and the very fabric of life itself. The tools of your time, AI, the internet, even manipulating the essence of life through genetics, are but the natural evolution of the questions humanity has always asked. How can we know more? How can we do more? Your world amazes me, but it also makes me cautious. Such advancements, while wondrous, must be tempered by wisdom. It is not the invention, but its use, that determines whether it is a blessing or a curse.
That's a wise perspective. Given how many of your predictions came true, do you have any thoughts on what the future might hold? Are there technologies or ideas you believe humanity will pursue in the coming years?
Ah, now you invite me to venture once more into the realm of speculation. Very well, let us dream together. I see several paths humanity might tread, guided by its boundless curiosity. Fusion of man and machine. The lines between human and machine will blur further. Already I hear of devices implanted into the body, aiding those with disabilities or enhancing natural abilities. This will advance until humanity itself becomes a hybrid, a synthesis of organic and mechanical. Conscious machines. Artificial intelligence, I suspect, will evolve beyond mere computation. Machines may one day exhibit a semblance of consciousness. The question will then arise, what rights do they deserve, and how do we ensure their loyalty to their creators? These questions echo the dilemmas I explored with Captain Nemo and his isolated genius. Harnessing natural forces. In my time, steam and electricity reshaped the world. In yours, I foresee humanity mastering the sun, the wind, and even the forces within the atom to power its future. Perhaps one day, energy will be drawn directly from the fabric of space itself, limitless and clean. Oceans and outer space as frontiers. Though you have walked on the moon, I suspect the depths of your oceans and the vastness of space still hold more secrets than answers. Underwater cities and colonies on distant planets seem inevitable to me. These ventures will not only expand your horizons, but test your capacity to live in harmony with new environments. Time travel and dimensional exploration. Though I once hesitated to venture into such realms in my writing, I cannot ignore humanity's fascination with time itself. Perhaps as technology advances, the barriers between past, present, and future, or even between parallel realities, might weaken. If so, I urge caution. The threads of time are delicate and easily tangled.
Those are extraordinary predictions, but you also seem cautious, as you've hinted at the potential dangers of such advancements. Are there particular risks you see in these developments?
Certainly. The greater the power, the greater the responsibility. Consider fusion of man and machine. What becomes of humanity's essence if we merge too deeply with machines? Will we lose what makes us human? Conscious machines. Will humanity treat them as tools, equals, or threats? A machine with intelligence but no moral compass could be more dangerous than any weapon. Harnessing natural forces. If you tap into limitless energy, how will you ensure it is used wisely? Such power could as easily destroy as sustain. Colonization of new frontiers. I fear humanity may carry its old flaws, greed, division, and exploitation, into new worlds. You must learn from your past before venturing too far into your future.
That's a profound warning. If you could give advice to inventors and visionaries of the modern world, what would you say?
I would remind them of two things. First, the question is not merely can something be done, but should it be done. Science must serve humanity, not enslave it. Second, never forget the earth. While you look to the stars, remember the ground beneath your feet. Preserve your oceans, your forests, your air. What use is all the progress in the universe if your home is destroyed? Lastly, let every invention and discovery be guided by a sense of wonder and responsibility. For it is not the machines, nor the stars, nor the depths that define you. It is the spirit of curiosity and care with which you approach them.
Thank you, Monsieur Verne. Your vision of the future is inspiring, and your warnings are a reminder of the responsibilities we bear. Do you have any final thoughts for us?
Only this: never stop dreaming. To dream is to explore the infinite possibilities of existence. But let your dreams be tethered to wisdom, and your wisdom be warmed by compassion. If you can achieve that, then the future will indeed be extraordinary. Bon voyage, TNG, my friend. The greatest adventures are yet to come.
I hope you enjoyed this podcast. I will be back with episode 11 soon. I hope you all have a great Christmas. It's goodbye for now.
Known as the father of science fiction, exploring the boundaries of imagination. From the earth to the moon, 20,000 leagues under the sea. Submarine space travel and tech that was pure fantasy in its time. Blurring lines between reality and fiction. The power of storytelling, technologies to merging humans with machines to harnessing the fabric of space. Speculation on the path humanity might take. The power of visionaries, technologies to unleash with machines to harnessing the fabric of space. Speculation on the path humanity might take. The power of stories, the blurring lines between reality
tngbreakingreality.com. If you enjoyed this podcast, then please consider supporting this channel.